It is Monday, and I am here with a Facebook Live. I do these most every Mondays, and I always appreciate you joining me. So thank you for being here. If you're watching the replay, I'm glad that you are watching as well. So thank you for joining me. If you are there, it took me a minute to get connected today, so I hope everything is okay. For a minute, I thought my internet was out. You never know on Mondays. It seems like that happens quite a bit. But anyway, hopefully you are there. I'm waiting to see a comment to make sure I'm in the right place. So today I have a really simple card that I want to share for you, and it features the Arctic Bears bundle. And I'll show you that when I flip my camera down. But the dies for this bundle are half price. They're only $15. And so I thought that this would be a good time to share a little quick, easy project featuring that bundle. So if you are there, give me a shout out. And I am going to go ahead and flip my camera down. Hopefully people can hop on. Okay, there we go. I think there's always a little bit of a delay. So, hey, Carol, thanks for joining. Good to see you here today. So these are the projects that I made last week. And I started out with this little frame. And I love these. I think they make really cute gifts. And so I made this. And then I also took the focal point of this and made it into a card. And so I always give these away. So this one is going to Michelle Holbrook. She left a comment last week, and so I randomly drew her name. And so Michelle, I have your address. I'll be getting this in the mail to you today. So I'll set that aside. And I want to show you, yes, Colleen, I agree. Sunshine, doesn't it make such a difference? It's a beautiful day here in Canton, Ohio. So I had a couple cards that I was going to make today, but in fact, this is the one I had planned on. This uses the gorgeous Peaceful Cabin suite of products, and I realized that I knew that the paper had sold out. The paper is absolutely gorgeous, and I knew that it was no longer available, but I didn't realize that the stamp set and the dies, unfortunately, have also sold out. So I guess that's just a reminder that if there's something that you want on that last chance list, don't wait. Get it today. Get it sooner rather than later. But this was just a simple card. If you were lucky enough to get those that stamp set, those products, then here's a simple card idea for you. Basically all white with just the basic gray ink. Super pretty card. And let me show you the inside because I thought that was really cute too. This is a little fox walking through the snow. So that was one card. And then I have a stack of cards here that I've received in the mail. And I wanted to share them with you because I love, like all of you, love getting cards in the mail. So this was from my friend Diane. It's a fun fold, really cute. And of course, you know I love this Santa Claus. That's the Be Jolly stamp set. Got this one from my friend Sherry, and she was able to snag some of that bedazzling celebration paper. Really pretty card. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Judy. Hi, Colleen. Hi, Carol. Okay, and then this card is also beautiful. This is from my friend Claire. She always makes beautiful cards, and this is with the it's a punch. It's an evergreen border punch. And so she stamped those in different colors, added the red. And I also love that she added one of the little punched images on the inside there. I thought that was super cute. This one I received from my dear friend, Jan. She's from Arizona, and she is one of the women she's a demonstrator. She's one of the women in my Stampin' Up career, I guess you could say, that was a mentor to me, and I learned a lot from her, and she is a wonderful person. So this card features the Eden's Garden, and really pretty, the dies, the paper, super pretty. So that's from Jan. Thank you, Jan, for that. This gorgeous card next is from my friend Constance, and she used that beautiful poinsettia set of dies and products, and it's just a gorgeous card. I actually meant to show these cards last week when Lucy was with me, and we just forgot. So, and then this card is from my friend Kelly. She did one of the pinwheel cards, and she loves snow and snowmen, and so I thought that was really fun. May your season sparkle. Super cute. Thank you, Kelly. This one is from my friend Shelly. I thought this was just a beautiful card. And I love the delicate bow hanging here and the subtle star in the background. Really pretty. There's how it is when you open it up. Super cute. And then I got this card. This isn't a Christmas card, but it was a thank you note from one of my customers. And I thought this was gorgeous. This is from Sue. So thank you, Sue, for that. I love getting these cards in the mail. Like I said, they totally make my day. And then I got this one from my sister-in-law, Nancy, and she is so talented, and she always sends uniquely shaped cards. You most likely will not get a traditional sized card from Nancy, and every card she sends, she makes the envelope for. So this was the one she sent to me, and it's a trifold, and I thought that was super cute. So thank you, Nancy, for that. So you know how fun it is to get cards in the mail. I love it too. So you might want to send me a card sometime, and maybe I'll share it here on a Facebook Live. Okay, so I have one card that I'm going to make today, and it features the Arctic Bears bundle. This is super cute, and you know, we actually made this card at a class that I had last week, and we were saying, you know, who knew that we needed to have a polar bear stamp set in our collection, but it is a great set to have. And there's, you know, the mama bear, the baby bear, the icebergs, the cliffs, some great words, and then the polar bear dies are originally $30. They are half price. They're on that last chance list. They are $15. So you could buy the stamp set and the dies at a great, great price. So be sure to take advantage of that. And let me just show you these dies because they're pretty cool. Not only do you have the dies to cut out like some of the landscape and iceberg, these little icicles hanging down, the mama bear, the baby bear, but this die is super cool. And it actually cuts out a bear. It does not coordinate with the bear in the stamp set. These two do. There's the mama and the baby bear. This one it's kind of a standalone die, and I actually cut it out in early espresso, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see the detail of this, if I can get it at the right angle, if it's going to focus enough, but I don't think it is. But it has, when you cut it out, let's see, maybe, whoops. There are actually some indentations for the legs, and then a little dot for his eye, the nose, and the ear. And I thought, you know, this is a polar bear set, but why not make a bear in brown? So this is a brown bear. Maybe you can see a little bit of the detail there, but so cute. I love that die. Okay, so $15 for this whole set of dies is a steal. So don't let that one get away. Seems like things are selling out kind of quickly from our retiring list, last chance list. But okay, so here's the card that I'm going to make today. Very simple. Any of you, I know some of you watching live in Michigan and Minnesota, and I know that you get cold. Now, I know you probably don't have polar bears in your state, but you may sometimes feel like a polar bear, right? So I'm just going to start with my base, and this is Pool Party. So let me get my bone folder here. Give this a nice crisp fold. Okay, this is 8.5 by 5.5. And then I have already gone ahead, so I did this for a class, so I had prepared the dies, and they needed a mama and a baby bear, and I set these up like I've shown you before. on my Stamparatus, so that all they had to do was slip these into the Stamparatus and stamp them. And I'll show you, I've already done that. And it just works. It's easy for a class setting, but it's also good if you're making more than one of the same card. And really, if you're getting your supplies out, I think it makes I think it's really smart to make more than one card, make multiples, because then when you need one, you'll have it. All right. So then I want to show you how I did this little horizon here and my words. So what I decided to do was, let me set this aside a minute. I mounted this on my Stamparatus as well. And what I decided to do, excuse me, was to include the horizon and also the word. That way, I knew that they were going to be lined up perfectly and that the words would be completely straight. And I know my friend Constance, I shared her beautiful card with her. We were talking about the Stamparatus. She does not make a card without using her Stamparatus, and she uses it for her words, because that way, you know, and she actually shared with us, there's nothing worse than having completed a whole card and adding the words at the end and having like the last letter not ink properly and stamped properly. So this is a smart way, I think, to do this. So I'm just going to position this, give it a good push. And there, oh, and I pushed too hard. Okay, well, let me flip it over. You know what I think, well, yeah, okay. So don't do that. Don't do what I did. Don't push too hard. For some reason, it seemed like it wasn't closing enough, but I guess it was. So the beauty of the Stamparatus, of course, is I can just do it again. I'm going to give a lighter press with my words. And I think, yep, I just got a little carried away there. I guess I wanted to make sure it's stamped properly and didn't realize how strong I was how much I was pushing. So here you have your landscape. You can see my words are perfectly straight. And then I'm going to take my paper snips. Now there is not a die that cuts this out. So what I did was just quickly cut this. I'm just going to follow around. And actually I have already done one just to save a little time today. So there is that. And the next part of my card is a piece of this designer paper. And let me show you where this is from. This is from, hey Michelle, I see Michelle's on there now. Michelle, I don't know if you were on here, but I drew your name for the card that I gave away last week. So you are the winner. I'll get this in the mail for you today. So congratulations. So this designer paper, has been very, very popular. This is offered to hostesses. It is a 12 by 12 paper stack. It has 48 sheets, so it's like 4 times what you would normally get in a designer paper stack. And I love this because it's very colorful on one side, and then the opposite side are all kinds of black and white patterns. There's a leaf, there's a check, a stripe, a couple different stripes actually, and these polka dots. So I decided this would be good for the background of my card because it sort of reminded me of stars in the sky. But that, I don't think I told you the name. This is called Pattern Party. You get this by hosting a workshop. So if you either put a big order in yourself or have some friends that you want to get together and order together, you can get this as part of your host rewards. And that has been super, super popular. All right, so what I'm going to do then is take my card base, my pool party, and I'm just going to position these layers on here. So I'm going to start like this. That's going to be there like that. And then you can see how this is just going to fit right over there like that. And doesn't it sort of remind you of a night sky? Okay. So I'm going to take my glue and I'll just attach and I'm just going to position this so it's just a little bit of an edge is showing around the top and sides here. And then I'll take my landscape, and again, I'll just position this so that it has the same amount of space around as it does at the top. So we'll just go ahead. This is going to go kind of quickly. This goes together quickly, I should say. Okay, so we're just going to line that up and give it a hold. If you want to order something on the last chance list, you can go to my blog at lauramilligan.com. Use this host code. That way you'll know you're shopping with me. And I truly would not miss out on these dies because I just think they are adorable. And then all I'm going to do is take my polar bear, and I'm going to start with Mama Bear. And I will put some dimensionals on the back of her. Let's put a couple. Yes, you're right, Colleen. The Stamparatus is perfect for making multiples of cards, and I think one of the big pluses is when you're doing words, just to make sure they're straight. Okay, so this is going to go, she's just going to go right here. Put her about right there like that. And you really could stop right there if you didn't want to add the baby bear, but I think she really makes it cute. So I'm going to pop her up as well. That's just going to go right there. And then what I did, and I don't know if you can see it on my sample, maybe you can see it shimmering. I thought it would be kind of cool to use my Wink of Stella and just add some glimmer to the edge of the iceberg. And so that's what I did. And then to finish this, I'm just going to take some of my matte black dots. These are some of my most well-used embellishments, and I'm just going to add a little dot right there. These come in 2 different sizes. I'm going to put a big one here like that. Super cute, very, very simple, as you can see. And then on the inside, I'm just going to go ahead and add a panel. It's going to be 4 by 5 1/4, and that's just going to go here. And again, you could stamp. This would be pretty there. You could do the little seagulls flying. In fact, you know what? I think I'm going to do that. Well, maybe, yeah, here we go. Here's this little, that's this part right here, I think. Yeah. So here's my block. I'm not sure if I grabbed the right thing. I'm going to ink this up. Sometimes you can't, sometimes when you look at some of these images, you can't tell until you've actually stamped them, right? So I think that is the right one, but I'm going to double check on here first. Yep, that's the one I wanted. So I'm just going to put that down. I'll put that down about right here. I think this would look pretty on the inside. And then I can take the seagulls. And I'll put those on this block and I'll stamp those. I think I'll stamp those up in that top part there. There we go. Any of these really would be pretty on the envelope as well, because we want to be sure to add something of interest to the envelope. That way people know there's something fun inside, right? Okay, just gonna add that here. Super quick, super simple. This would be a great masculine card. We're always looking for ideas for masculine cards, but there that is. And I just think it's a really cool card. I love the polar bears. And I love the die that also cuts just the polar bear walking. It doesn't coordinate with the stamp, the one that I showed you. This brown bear, of course, you could make it white as well. He would be kind of cool, sort of walking right by that. There's a lot you can do with these dies. Super, super cute. Now, I made another card, basically using the same supplies, but I just stepped it up a little bit. and it's this. And you can see I have some shimmer underneath. Well, I don't know if you can see or not. I think you can, maybe. I put a little bit of shimmer under the where the polar bears are walking, and then I added some shimmer to that iceberg there. I think you can see that. But I just added some more steps. Like I added a label here. I popped that up. I added more gems, and then a piece of this black and white gingham ribbon that we're all crazy about. So I don't know. I like both of them. I guess it depends on who you would be sending the card to. What do you all think? Let me know which one is your favorite. Do you like the more simple one, or do you like the stepped up? I think this simpler one is perfect for a masculine card. I think this would work for a masculine card as well. It just depends on what you like. So that's my project for today. I'm going to go ahead and switch back up. I appreciate you joining me. So let me know. I'm going to hold both of these up again. Let me know which one is your favorite. I am kind of leaning towards this one, just for masculine cards. But if you want to order anything that you've seen today, I would be so grateful for your orders. You can go to my blog at lauramilligan.com, and there's a little link there that says shop, and you just click on that. It will take you directly to my store. And of course, I'm always grateful for your orders, and I want to thank you for joining me today. I also want to thank all of you that watched Lucy and I live on Friday. She loved all your comments. We read every single one together, and her smile just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I really appreciate that, and I know that she will be back very soon. She was supposed to be coming for one night and a day, but she ended up staying the whole weekend, which was really, really fun. And we have a great time together. But thank you all for supporting her as well. And I will see you probably next Monday. I don't think I'll be going live this Thursday. I'm not sure. But next Monday for sure. And I appreciate you joining me today. And as always, I hope you have time to be creative today. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.